What's going on there, family? I went to see my therapist today, and we were talking a lot about different things. And one thing we talked about, she was asking me about whether or not if I wanted to date. It's been almost 5 months since my wife passed away. Over 5 months, close to 5 months. And I was telling her, I said, well, with the game being the way it is today, I really don't want to go out there. And, I've been on some apps, but I ain't been on no app to really find nobody. I've been on these apps, basically you learn from people, no matter what. That's what I told her, pretty much learning. I know sometimes older person, or whatever you want to call me, the game has changed a lot. But my approach is still pretty much the same. I'm not changing my approach towards a woman. It's all about being who you are. You don't go around changing yourself to appease nobody. And with these women today, I was looking at a video on Philip Scott. A chick was over in Jamaica, and she was hollering at these Jamaican guys because she's like, y'all need to learn how to eat PUSSY. And it's like an older black woman. She's real light skinned though, but she was black. And she's saying this to these guys, they need to learn how to eat PU. But, to be that old and saying that kind of stuff on a video, it's like, are you just plain stupid or what? Because that is so ignorant for a woman to be saying a man needs to learn how to eat PU, because a man don't want to eat. And she was pointing, it's like four of them. They were sitting in their boats by the, by the water. And whatever they were saying, I couldn't quite hear what they were saying. But obviously they didn't want to be bothered with that, because see, a lot of females go over to these places, especially a lot of the older ones, black and white. They go over to Jamaica and whatnot, and these guys, they fill them up. They rub their booties and whatnot, and on the beach and whatever. And then they take them in the woods, or take them in, somewhere in the woods, and they fill them up. And these women talk about what men do, but you're doing the same thing. You're going over to Jamaica because a lot of these other countries, they don't want you. It's sad, but a lot of them don't want you. A lot of the men over there are not going to pick you up. They may pick you up for some fun, but they're not picking you up like the way a man can go and pick up a woman. A man has let me see, how can I put this? We have all the advantages, and a lot of women don't like that, because a lot of and it's not just just not brothers, because white men and all kind of other men been going over to being passport whatever bros way before black men started doing it. But black men were doing it too. Now it's just a little bit out there, so it's more it's more well, I won't even say acceptable. It's pretty much not acceptable for black men to go over to these countries. And especially with the amount of black men that are pretty much doing it and making videos and posting. It's not acceptable, because, see, they want to keep you here. And then when you start talking about money, on how much money you make, this is the thing. When it comes to money, any man out there, don't never tell a woman what you make unless she's your wife. If she's not your wife, you don't need to tell her nothing. You don't have to prove nothing to her, because a woman will be with you just for one thing, because you're making some money. As soon as your money's gone, look at Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen ain't making that basketball check, that NBA check no more. Whatever money he's making now, he's making. He's not Michael Jordan, so he didn't get the advantages of Michael Jordan. Then again, Michael didn't have a whole bunch of kids like that either. But Michael and Scottie Pippen totally different. But Scottie is not making that NBA check, so his wife, apparently, whatever reason why she left him, more so than not, it was partly because he wasn't in the NBA, and they had kids together. So once she saw her opportunity, then she bolted. But brothers, I would tell you, don't tell women what you make. It's none of their business. If they're not married to, and if you got to go around here to impress them, then basically you probably need to check yourself a little bit more too. A man don't need to tell no woman what he make. Because one, it's none of her business. See, I always tell people this. When I was younger, I was fucking around with IG hoes before it was ever IG. And they were more natural. So today are more like imitations. They're not the natural ones. You got some are. But a lot of these females, you want to spend your money so you can walk around for a look. People think you got it going on. Come on, man. Give me a break. A broke motherfucker can go out there and get one of these females nowadays. If you got the right conversation, you don't need to have a lot of money. And then again, if you do got a lot of money, you still don't tell a woman what you make. If you're trying to impress a woman, that say a lot about you. A man don't need to go around and trying to impress a woman with what he makes or what he has. And I was telling my therapist all this shit. I was telling her. She's very cute. She's 27, and she's a lot of things she gets, and a lot of things I explain to her. But it doesn't matter if she was 20, if she's 27, 47, or 67. A lot of them, they just ain't gonna understand. Period. No matter how much experience you may have. But she's very attractive. She's very attractive, so it's easy to talk to her. And she's not she's not a fake. I read people very well. She's not a fake, but she's a extremely attractive woman. No, I wouldn't try to hit on her. She's my therapist. It's not that kind of game. I'm there to have her try to help me the best way she can, and not me trying to make passes at her. She just happens to be attractive. Just one of those things. But she understands a lot of things because she fits into that when it comes to age, she fits into these modern day women. She's not so much of a social media person, but she understands. A lot of females today are looking for love. They just don't know how to give it, or they just don't know how to receive it. But they're looking for love. And with the attitude of listening to other women, listening to videos, listening to this, listening to that, they lose all track of reality. When you start talking about what a man makes and he needs to make this, or he needs to do this, he needs to do this, he needs to do that. Why? Like I told my therapist, I says, you know what? I was in some chat rooms, and sometimes I bring up the fact, what can you bring to my table? What can you bring to my table? Because when we start talking about, money, what are you bringing to my table? One, what can you do for me? I'm not coming to live with you. I got my own place. I got my own car. I got my own money. So what are you bringing to the table? And like I told my therapist, I said, you know what? With an attitude that you have from a lot of these females, a man can just go and buy him some pussy. I use straight words because, we therapists. I'm speaking the way I speak normal. I'm not going to sit here and hide. Buy some pussy. Get your rocks off and go on home. You ain't got to be dealing with all this headache and shit that you got to hear. And she's like, no, you don't want to do that. I'm like, no, I'm not saying I'm doing that. I'm saying that's the attitude that you get sometimes. Or that's how a person may think. You go do what you got to do and go on about your business. But in saying everything that I said, brothers, keep your money to yourself. If you're going around here telling these women what you make, you're only good until the next brother come with more money, and then she gonna go. True love in America, it's there. It's just very hard to find. Get a pen, get a haystack, take that pen and throw it in a haystack. And see how long it takes you to find. Because that's the analogy I used when I was talking to my therapist. I says, I ain't got time to throw the needle in the haystack and try to find somebody. I ain't got time for that. But brothers, stop trying to impress these women. Stop telling people what you make, because it's not really impressive. And it goes for the same with women. Nobody give a shit about your degree. Nobody gives a shit about what you make. None of that. It's about you as a person that matters the most. Remember that. That's the word from your brother. Peace out. I'm out.